I'll paraphrase the entire story for you, maintaining the original meaning while changing the wording and sentence structure. Emma's hands shook as she held the coffee pot, accidentally overhearing a hushed discussion. In the corner booth sat three men whose eyes were as frigid as a winter's day. Once he requests his standard black coffee without sugar, that's when we act. The leader of the Iron Wolves would soon arrive, oblivious to the fact that three assassins were prepared to exploit his predictable habits to take his life. The entrance bell jingled at the Crossroads Diner while Emma Martinez topped off the sugar containers. Typically, Thursday mornings were peaceful. Yet something felt off today. Her 3 years at the Crossroads had taught her to distinguish between regular customers and transient bikers. Booth 9 housed three men, the corner spot that provided unobstructed views of both doorways. Their leather vests displayed no club insignia, which immediately raised red flags. Their meals sat mostly untouched while they focused on monitoring the parking area instead of eating. Then she overheard their words. Once he requests black coffee without sugar, that's our cue. Colt's order never changes. The instant he speaks those words, we end him. Emma's movements stopped. Black coffee without sugar. She knew precisely which person they meant. Every Thursday at 9:30, Colt Reaper Daniels, leader of the Iron Wolves Motorcycle Club, visited the Crossroads. Predictable as a clock, he always chose the counter seat and consistently requested black coffee accompanied by 2 over-easy eggs. The windows rattled with the sound of incoming motorcycles. Emma peered outside and spotted 5 bikes entering the parking area, their riders displaying the Iron Wolves insignia. Colt Daniels carried himself with the calm assurance of someone who'd endured unimaginable hardships. Emma's gaze returned to Booth 9. The 3 men had tensed up. The man with the scorpion tattoo on his neck had slipped his hand beneath his jacket. Colt took his seat at the counter. "Good morning, everyone. Perfect weather for riding." Within half a minute or less, Colt would place his order and unknowingly trigger his own death. Everything seemed to decelerate. Her gut told her to remain uninvolved, to lower her gaze and act oblivious. Yet she was unable to do so. Acting before doubt could set in, Emma took action. She approached the counter with practiced ease, grasping the coffee pot. "Good morning, Colt. Your regular order." His eyes met hers. "Absolutely, Emma," he began to reply. Emma bent forward while pouring coffee, positioning her mouth near his ear. "Stay silent," she murmured. Colt's hand stopped midway to his coffee. He became completely motionless, every fiber suddenly on high alert. His gaze locked onto hers, examining her expression with piercing focus. "Actually," he stated cautiously, "just the coffee will do for now. Give me a moment to review the menu." In the dining area, the trio in Booth 9 looked at each other with bewilderment. Missing the trigger phrase they'd anticipated, they appeared uncertain. Emma retreated, her knees trembling. She'd succeeded. Against all odds, she'd stopped a killing without drawing attention. Though Colt understood, the 3 men rose to their feet, hastily leaving money on the table. They headed for the door. The final patron departed the Crossroads at midnight. Emma observed him leave, aware she was now isolated with the exact people she'd hoped to evade. "Emma," Colt's voice pierced the quiet. "Join me. Explain why you told me to stay silent." I overheard their conversation. Those 3 men in Booth 9. They were anticipating you saying something particular. Once he orders black coffee without sugar, that's when we act. Colt's expression hardened. "What made you warn me? Why not simply remain quiet? Protect yourself. Because you would have died, along with probably anyone else who interfered." Her phone vibrated. Instinctively, she checked it and her complexion turned pale. Her fingers quivering, Emma displayed the text to him. "We've identified you. We know your address. This situation continues." Colt's demeanor changed immediately. "Ghost, we're bringing her to the compound right away. Gather your belongings. You're now under my safeguarding." 72 hours later, Colt arrived with maps in hand. "Emma, we're finishing this tomorrow evening." Tomorrow evening marks the Demon's Run rally. 5,000 riders, ideal camouflage. We've planted false intelligence that you'll attend under my watch. You're using me as bait. Emma stated plainly. Bait that can fight back, Colt acknowledged. They'll take the opportunity. They're frantic. The Demon's Run rally location pulsed with the roar of 5,000 motorcycles. Emma navigated the crowd dressed in denim and leather. In 5 minutes, I'll step away, Colt whispered quietly. You'll be by yourself for 10 minutes. Emma walked toward the less populated maintenance section, adhering to the plan. Beautiful bikes, right? Emma pivoted to see the scorpion-necked man drawing near. I don't believe you have options, he stated, reaching into his jacket. However, rather than producing his weapon, he stopped cold. His expression showed terror. Surrounding them, Iron Wolves members materialized from the darkness, armed and ready. Gentlemen, Colt's declaration sliced through the atmosphere like steel. I understand you desired a discussion. 14 days following Demon's Run, Emma occupied the same diner booth where it all started, though everything had transformed. Colt pulled something from his jacket. The box contained a medallion bearing the Iron Wolves emblem in silver. This signifies you're now part of our family. Not through genetics, but through decision. Security, financial support, prospects, but also obligations, faithfulness, confidentiality. Emma examined the medallion. What if someday I choose to depart? You stopped being an ordinary citizen when you whispered those words. Stay silent. That can't be reversed. Emma grasped the medallion. She reflected on her previous existence. The tiny apartment, the constant anxiety, the anonymity. Currently she was recognized, safeguarded, significant, formidable. Here's to strong intuition, Colt announced abruptly, lifting his coffee mug. Emma lifted her own cup. To strong intuition. They clinked cups in the diner where she'd rescued his life and forfeited her former existence, cementing a connection that would shape their future. Emma had discovered the critical principle. Once you joined the family, membership was permanent. Whether that represented a guarantee or a warning depended on your perspective. She decided to view it as simultaneously both.